Hello students, welcome to Samclasses. Today we'll be doing the chapter Trigonometry. So we'll be starting from the pretty basics of class 10th, building up what is trigo, sines, sin theta, cos theta, everything. slowly increasing it to the highest and the advanced level that you need for the KCET, and then with the practice of the questions, the tricks to involve, the way to visualize, and much use of the graphs to understand and predict the question, or to understand and solve the question in a in a very simpler manner. Okay, so let's see and let's start this beautiful chapter. So trigo, we first learned in class 10th, if you remember, that we used to have a 90-degree triangle and then we used to have an angle theta here. So we used to define sine theta. We used to say this is the perpendicular for this angle, this is the base, and this is the longest side, hypotenuse. So we used to define sine theta is equal to perpendicular by hypotenuse, cos theta is equal to base by hypotenuse, tan theta is equal to P by B, perpendicular by base, cot theta is equal to base by perpendicular. Now sec theta is equal to 1 by cos theta, that is equal to hypotenuse by base. Cosec theta was inverse of sin theta, 1 by sin theta, and that is equal to height by hypotenuse by perpendicular. So this is the basic which we knew about in class 10th. Now we learned three identities. You remember? Okay, is it like the olden days are flashing back in the memory when we used to study the 10th? So easy things were that back in the days, correct? So if you studied for like 2 months, that was more than enough. Now everything is like so much is there, so much to revise, correct? So let's see. So what are the three identities? First, the ones which you use the most. Sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. This till now we use it. 1 plus tan square theta is equal to secant square theta, and the other one is 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosecant square theta. Okay, so till this much we used to know, and then next we knew about the values of some angles. What are those angles? For the sine, we used to know about 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, and 90 degree. We used to make a pattern like this, correct? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we used to divide whole things by 4. Okay, and then what we used to do? We used to take the square root, correct? If you remember, so we used to do like this only, correct? So we never used to wanted to mug it up. So 0 by 4 we already knew it's 0. So root under of 1 by 4 is half, and this is 1 by root 2. This is root 3 by 2, and this is 1. So we knew that whatever the value of sine we got from 0 to 90, cos is just opposite of that. So cos 90 starts with 1. Next it starts with root 3 by 2. Middle value is same for both of them. So that's why whenever we have sin theta equal to cos theta, we have the value 1 by root 2. And then cos 60 was half, and then cos 90 was 0 degree. Now based on these two, we knew about tan theta. Correct? Tan theta was nothing but sine by cos. So 0 by 1 is how much, students? 0 by 1, that is equal to 0. So if I do half by root 3 by 2, okay, so what I'll get? 1 by root 3. If I do 1 by root 2 divided by 1 by root 2, 1. So tan 45 you used to remember, whenever you used to do a lot of questions, whenever tan 45 used to come, used to be very happy. Correct? One value we already knew. And then tan 60 degree was root 3. And this was 1 by 0. So we already know this was not defined. Correct? 1 by 0 is not defined. Now we knew the other values also. Okay. So of cot and all we can find it out. Cot is inverse of tan. What is sec is inverse of cos, and cosec is inverse of sine. So these all we know about it. Till here, very simple things we did in class 10th. So this much we all know, correct? Everybody, I think so. Now nobody has any doubt. The recollection of the past, we have done it properly. Okay. Now let's see in the 11th one what we started studying is and what we need to know so that we are able to solve all the questions. Now what about the graph from this data? So though we haven't drawn the graph in 10th, we drew the graph in the first view. So let's see. Okay. Now along with that, we should remember we used to do something called complementary angles, correct? So what we used to do, that sine of 90 minus theta is equal to cos theta. So these two are complementary of each other. What is a tan of 90 minus theta is equal to cot theta. Sec of 90 minus theta is equal to cosec theta, correct? So till this much we have done in class 10th. Okay. Now after this, what we have to do is, let's see. Okay. Now we need to understand about the graph. The graphs plays a very major role in making the questions more simpler. While solving the KCET questions, if you are able to depict the question, if you are able to represent the question in the graphical manner, you'll be able to solve it in seconds. Okay. So let's see how we can do it. So first, let's see how to draw the graph of sin x. So y is equal to sin x. So we should know basic middle values. First, sin 0 is what? It's 0. Sin 90 is the maximum value, that is 1. At sin 90, the maximum value we get, that is 1. Now next, at sin 180 degree, we have again 0. Okay. So we know this much. So what is happening? This graph is going like this till 90, and after 90 again it is coming back. Okay. Now at 270 we know it goes to minus 1, correct, and then again at 360 it goes to 0. So, and here also same way it repeats. So this is the graph of sin x. Now you'll say, sir, what about the graph of cos x? Very simple, we'll draw in this only. Cos starts with, at 0 it starts with 1, at 90 it comes to 0. So you see a value here where sin and cos both are equal. So sin x is equal to cos x, and this value is none other than 45 degree, half of this, correct? Now, so the moment it comes to 90, it goes down. At the pi part, it is minus 1. And then at 2 pi, it goes up, okay, to 0. And at 360, it is at 1, okay. So whatever it is here, same thing after 360, it repeats. So every sine, cos, tan graph, they repeat after an interval of 360 degree, okay. So till 360 degree, we need to know how to draw it. After that, we can just repeat it, okay. So this way, it will go back like this, and it will be the graph like this, okay. So this is the graph of nothing but y is equal to cos x, and this is the graph of nothing but y is equal to sin x. So you can do a comparison study that basically just you have taken this graph and shifted by what? How much? 90 degree, pi by 2. If you shifted this whole thing, you take it, okay, and put it here, this whole thing, the graph will be shifted by 90. So you'll be able to get the same sine graph. Clear? Correct. Now let's see about tan, cot and sec. Now if you see for the graph y is equal to tan x, student, okay. So we need to understand tan x is like very simple graph, okay. A lot of students, they get confused, okay. So what you have to see, you need to understand the value at 90 is not defined. Means 1 by 0 is what, student? Infinity. And this is positive in infinity because in the first quadrant tan is positive, correct. So if you see here like this, so at 90 pi by 2 it comes from infinity, okay. Now at pi by 4 means 45 degree, it is from, correct. So it comes like this, and at 0, if you see the value of tan 0 is 0, and then again at minus 90, okay, it goes back to minus infinity. So this is how simple the graph is of y is equal to tan x, okay, clear. Now what about cot x? Cot x is almost also similar, okay. So cot x, what we can do is, it's opposite of tan. So when is tan 0? At 0 degree. So tan theta is equal to tan 0 degree is what? 0 by 1. So cot 0 degree is 1 by 0. So it is not defined here. So if we try to draw at 0 degree, it goes to infinity. Now when again it goes to infinity? At pi. Okay. If you see at pi 180 degree, because sine value at pi is what? 0. So cot is nothing but cos by sine. So 1 by 0. So what happens? It comes like this here from infinity. At 45 it is also 1. At 90 it is what? 0. And then it goes off down like this. Okay. See how simple the graph is, student. Okay. Don't get confused. Nothing is there in this graph. Okay. So if you are, what do you say, drawing it a bit properly, you'll be able to see. And a lot of questions you'll be able to solve by knowing a bit about the graph. Okay. So don't worry. So let's see the graph of sec and cosec. Okay. Let's see the graph of sec theta and cosec theta. Now let's see the graph of y is equal to sec x, and this time we will try to learn y is equal to cosec x. Okay. Now first we need to remember few basic values, student. Okay. Few basic values is what? Now cos 0 degree is how much, student? Cos 0 degree. So sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. So sec 0 is also 1. Okay. Correct. So at 1 we got 1. Now where is cos 0? Okay. At 90, cos is what? Cos 90 degree, pi by 2 is what? 0. So sec will be what? Infinity. Correct. So at 90 it is going to infinity. Correct. Now if you see for the negative half also, at minus pi by 2 it is again going to infinity. So at pi by 2 it is going to positive infinity. At minus pi by 2 again this side going towards positive infinity. Okay. So very simple. This is the graph of y is equal to sec x. So you say, sir, what about this side, sir, if I want to draw? So again for a 3 pi by 2 you make a line, okay, and the middlemost value you keep it as pi. So what happens is, here in the second quadrant, okay, when it is more than 90 degree, when you learn in 11th part, in the second quadrant sec is what? Negative. So it starts with minus infinity, goes towards at pi, goes towards minus 1, okay, and then at 3 pi by 2 again goes towards minus infinity. Clear? So that is pretty simple, student. Okay. This is the graph of y is equal to secant x. Okay. Now, what about y is equal to cosec x? The graph is almost similar. The points changes. Okay. So what happens is at 0 it becomes infinity because sin 0 is 0, and at 90 it becomes 1 like this, and then the graphs goes up. Okay. So nothing more than that. Nothing changes there. Okay, so we just need to know where is sin 0, where is sin 1. So the moment you know this all stuff, you'll be able to easily make the graphs, and you'll be able to easily solve the questions. Correct? Now students, let's see. We should always remember what is that is the difference or the conversion from radian to theta. Okay, degree and degree to radian. So we know 180 degree is equal to pi radian. Correct. Or you can understand like this for the whole circle. If you go for, you complete one circle, it's 360 degrees equal to what? 2 pi radian. Okay. So 1 radian is equal to 360 degree by 2 pi. And that is equal to 180 by pi degree. Correct. So pretty simple. Okay. Now, next we learned about in a circle, whenever there is, this is the radius, this is of arc length, okay, let's say L, and this is the angle theta. So we know L is equal to what? R theta. Correct. L is equal to what? R theta. Correct. Now we also have a formula, okay, where L is equal to theta by 360 into 2 pi r. If you remember, correct? Theta by 360 into 2 pi r. So if I do basically theta by 2 pi into 2 pi r, so it's basically what? L is equal to r theta. Okay. So similar formula, very similar. Nothing is there in this. Okay. Now let's see the next part. Okay. Next part is we should remember ASTC. What is this ASTC? A lot of people, they say all silver teacups. Okay. A lot of people, they have some different names. So whichever way you called it, ASTC basically stands for ASTC. If you want to represent in a quadrant form, all sine, tan, cos. This is ASTC, all sine, tan, cos. So in the first quadrant, so this starts from 0 degree to 90 degree, all trigonometric ratios are positive. Now coming to the second quadrant, only sine and its reciprocal cosec is positive. Coming to the third, only tan and cot is positive. Okay, coming to the fourth, only what you say, cos and sec is positive. Clear? So you understood the concept, student. Okay, all sine tan cos from 0 to 90 degree, we have all sine values positive. From 90 to 180, we have all the values of sine and cosec positive. From 180 to 270, we have tan and cot, and from 270 to 12 o'clock. Now students, let's see one question to understand how do we solve this problem. So it is given to us cos x is equal to minus 3 by 5. You have, and it is saying that it lies in the third quadrant. Okay, so we have to find the other trigonometric function. So we already know cos x is equal to what? Minus 3 by 5. So secant x is equal to what? Minus 5 by 3, just reciprocal of that. Pretty simple. Now since it is lying in the third, if you see all sine tan, so cos and sec are negative. Now what we'll do, we know sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to what? Sine square x plus cos square x is equal to what? 1. So sine square x plus 9 by 25, that is equal to cos square x value we put. So sine x is equal to plus minus of 4 by 5. Okay. So what we can get is all sine tan cos. Sine in this quadrant it was negative. So we'll choose sine x is equal to what? Minus of 4 by 5. Now what about tan x? So tan x is equal to sine by cos minus 4 by 5 into minus 3 by 5. So that will get as 4 by 3. And cot x will be equal to 3 by 4. So that's it, done. Okay, pretty simple. Now one very important question that we needed to discuss is how do we find, now few things they can absorb the sine, few cannot. So cos, if I put minus theta, it can absorb the sine, so it is known as cos theta. And sine, if I put minus, it won't be able to absorb the sine, so it will be minus sine theta. Okay. Now let's see, we have to find the value of cos minus 1710 degree. Now we have a method for this, student. Okay, let's see that method and then we'll find few shortcuts in that method to use it in a faster way. So first, whatever it is, we'll see whether it can absorb the sine or not. If it can absorb, we'll absorb it. Okay, so since cos it is able to absorb the sine, so we took it out. Now this whole value we write in terms of 90. So 1710 in terms of 90, how will we write? 90 ones are 90. Okay, so we got here 1 and we got here 810. So 19 nines are 81, so 810. So it's basically 19 into 90 plus 0 degree. Correct. Now what we'll see, what is the multiplier of 90? So if this is odd, so what we're going to do, we're going to change cos to its complementary sign and we'll write 0 degree. And if it is even, then what do we do? Here, since it was odd, if it is even, we keep the cos as it is. Okay. So if it is an odd multiple of 90, we change it to its complementary sign, changes to cos, tan to cot, and sec to cosec. And if it is even, we keep it like that only. Okay. So it will be sine 0 degree, that is equal to 0. Clear? So pretty simple, you can do like that. Now let's see, what about using all, ASTC, all sine tan cos. Okay, so how will we find out? So it's very simple. This is my 0 degree, this is my 90 pi by 2, this is my 180, this is my 3 pi by 2, 270, and this again is 2 pi, and after this it keeps repeating. Okay, nothing more than that is there. And we already know all sine tan cos. So if we need to find a value half, so of sine, so it can be positive value where we can get in the first quadrant, we can get in the second quadrant. So like that, we'll have a discussion a bit later on also. So let's see what else extra we have. Okay. Now we already told you about even and odd function. Okay. Though I didn't say the word even and odd. So let's see if what is even and odd function. So it's very simple. Okay. Sine theta, we know that sine of minus theta is what? Minus of sine theta. Okay, and cos theta is equal to, cos of minus theta is equal to what? Cos theta only. So one can absorb the sine, the other, it can't absorb the sign. So one is an even function, the other is an odd function. Okay. Now coming to the next, few important formulas that we need to know. Okay. Okay. This one is which can absorb, it is even, this is odd. Okay. Pretty simple. So we know this much. What are the formulas that we need to know? All important formulas from the, what to say, exemplar and NCRT part is all important. Okay. So we need to know all the formulas. So let's see all the formulas. Okay. So first thing is sum or difference of formula. Okay. So let's see the sum and difference of formula. So cos sine of a plus b. First, sine of a plus minus b. So that is equal to, we know, sine a cos b, okay, plus cos a sin b. Now what if a minus is there, then sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. Now what about cos of a plus b? Cos of a plus minus b, here understand the sign is opposite. It is cos a cos b minus, if it is plus here, then first will come minus sin a sin b. Okay, so understand and keep it in mind, and if it comes minus, then opposite will come here, student. Okay, now next is tan of a plus b. So that is simple. Thus write down tan a plus minus of tan b by here opposite 1 minus tan a tan b. Okay, so whatever the sign is there on the top, a reverse sign will get in the bottom. So do remember it. Okay, next, multiple angles. So sine 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta cos theta, that we know, everybody knows, and that is equal to 2 tan theta by 1 plus tan square theta. Correct. So done. Next, cos 2 theta. So cos 2 theta is equal to cos square theta minus sin square theta. That is also is equal to 2 cos square theta minus 1, or 1 minus 2 sin square theta. And that is also equal to 1 minus tan square theta by, in terms of tan, what will be the formula, student? You have already learned this formula. Come on, come on, come on. You can say it fast. Once you're done, now in Trigo, what is the most important thing is the formula should be on your fingertips. Okay. If you don't remember the formula, it will be very difficult to deal. Okay. Clear? Now, next. So this much basic formulas we have. Few more we have. Let's put it down. Okay. So 1 plus cos 2 theta is equal to 2 cos square theta, and 1 minus cos 2 theta is equal to 2 sin square theta. Correct. Now, so after that, what we have, student, is, okay, let's see. Next we have is tan square theta in terms of, what you are getting. Okay, and before writing this formula, let's write few more other formulas we have. Let's see it. Next we have formula tan 2x is equal to 2 tan x by 1 minus tan square x. Then we have sin 3x is equal to 3 sin x minus 4 sin cube x. Cos 3x is equal to 4 cos cube x minus 3 cos x. Tan 3x is equal to 3 tan x minus tan cube x by 1 minus 3 tan square x. Okay. Now next is we have sin c plus sin d formula. So product to sum. Okay. And here it is sum to product. So what we're going to do? Well, let's see. Cos x plus cos y. So what will be the formula? See, this is an addition. We have to convert it in multiplication. 2 cos x plus y by 2 cos x minus y by 2. Okay. In cos, we have both what? Same. Cos x minus cos y. So in minus case, minus 2 sin x plus y by 2. Okay. Sin x minus y by 2. Okay. Next we have sin x plus sin y. So that is equal to 2 sin x plus y by 2 cos x minus y by 2. Okay, so pretty simple. Now one last formula, sin x minus sin y. 2 cos x plus y by 2 into sin of x minus y by 2. Done. Okay. Now coming to the next part of the formula, product to sum. This much we have done. The next part is product to sum. So product to sum is what? 2 cos a cos b. 2 cos x cos y. That is equal to cos of x plus y plus cos of x minus y. Next we'll see minus 2 sin of sin x sin y. So that is equal to cos of x plus y minus cos of x minus y. Next third formula, 2 sin x cos y. So that is equal to sin of x plus y plus sin of x minus y. Next we have 2 cos x cos y. Sorry, 2 cos x sin y. Okay. So what we have is sin of x plus y minus sin of x minus y. Okay. So what do we see? Whenever we have sine cos mixed, so it comes both sine. Okay. Now whenever we have both cos or both sine, then what will happen? Either will get cos in both the cases. Okay. Now, so next part of this trigo is the most important part. That is trigonometric equation. So in trigonometric equation, we have two parts. One is called the principal solution, okay, and the other is general solution. Now, what is a principal solution? You'll be asking, students. So any solution which is lying from 0 degree to 360 degree, okay, is known as what? Principal solution. And any solution which is beyond 360, any solution which is beyond 360 degree, okay, then that becomes a general solution. Clear, everyone? Okay, so first few formulas here also we have. If we see where anywhere sin x is equal to 0 degree or cos x is equal to 0 degree, so here x is equal to what? N pi. For each and every integral multiple of pi or 180 degree, you will get sin as 0. Now in here, in case of each and every odd multiples of pi by 2, you will get what you say, this one cos x is equal to 0 degree. Okay, so these two are pretty simple, so we can easily mug it up or we can easily keep a practice and we won't forget it. Okay, so next is what we have is the next formula. Okay, so let's see. Next is sin x is equal to sin y. So whenever we have sin x is equal to sin y, okay, so x is equal to what? N pi plus minus 1 power n into y. That is one. When we have cos x is equal to cos y, then we have x is equal to 2n pi plus minus y. Now when we have tan x is equal to tan y, okay, we have x is equal to n pi plus y. Okay, clear? So these three are among the most important formulas to find the general and the principal, both the solutions. Okay, so let's see. Now we already know in which coordinate sign is positive, first, second, for the case of sine. Okay, now for the case of what is it, tan, first and third. Okay, so it is positive tan and cot. And for the case of what do you say, this one, first and fourth for the case of cos. Okay, so it is positive. Okay, now let's see how do we solve a question. Let's see one simple question in this. You'll be able to understand how do we solve a question and how do we get all the values of it. Okay, so let's say we know that we have a value given cos x is equal to half. Okay, so how do we solve it? We know cos x is equal to half, and that is equal to what? Cos how much? 60 degree, pi by 3. Now we already know cos is positive in first quadrant and then in fourth quadrant cos is positive. Okay, so one value lies pi by 3 here. Now where does the other value lie? So we'll use the formula to find it out. What I told, cos x is equal to cos y So pi by 3 is nothing but cos y. So x is equal to what? 2n pi plus minus pi by 3 or y. Okay. So now when you put n equal to 0, you get x equal to pi by 3. That is the first value, 60 degree. Correct. When you put n equal to 1, what do you get? X is equal to 2 pi plus pi by 3. So that is equal to 7 pi by 3. Correct. So with the putting of the values of the n, now this is what? Principal solution, because it is lying between 0 to how much? 360 degree. Now what about this 7 into pi by 3 is how much, students? Come on, fast, fast, fast. 60 degree. So 420. So this is beyond that. Correct. This is again. Now what about this quadrant? 360 minus this. So we have minus also. So n equal to 1, if I'm putting x is equal to 2n pi minus pi by 3. So what are we going to get? So if I put n equal to 1, so 2 pi minus pi by 3. So 6, so 5 pi by 3. Okay. So that is equal to pi by 3 is what? 60 degree. So around 300 degree will have the other half value. Clear? Now one last thing we need to know is the range, finding maximum and minimum, okay, in case of a function. Okay. So whenever we have a function in the form of a cos theta plus b sin theta, what is the maximum value it can be? It is always greater than root under of minus of a square plus b square, and always smaller than root under of a square plus b square. Okay. How do we solve this kind of question? Let's say we have a question 4 cos theta plus 3 sin theta. So this is always greater than root under of what do you say 25 and smaller than root under of 25. Okay. So that is greater than minus 5 and smaller than 5. Okay. Clear? Now coming to a lot of students, they have difficulty. Sir, if I want to show it in first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, since I know in which quadrant what is positive, but how do we express it? Now very simple formula, I told you how to do. Break every angle, whatever you have, in terms of 90, and then using the theorem which I gave you, you can do it. Let's say you take a problem and you can solve it and you can check it. Let's say we have something like a big value you can take, student. Okay. um, what you can take is sine of 660 degree. Okay. So what we can write, first write in terms of 90. Sine 90 into 7 means 630 plus 30 degree. Very simple. Now if you see an odd value here, change this sign to cos. Okay. And then we see which quadrant it is lying. So it starts from 0, 1, 290, 390, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 30 means fourth quadrant, sign will be what? Negative, and then 30 degree. So minus cos 30 is how much, student? Okay, minus cos 30 is nothing but minus of root 3 by 2. So very simple, you can solve it like this. Now what about the values which we need to find? Okay, sometimes we say we add pi by 2 plus theta, pi by 2 minus theta. So if I do sine of 90 into 1 minus theta. So see, we already learned this formula. But 1 means what? It will change to cos, and sine in the first quadrant is positive, so positive and then theta. So you can use this formula and you can solve it out. Okay, all of it you can solve it out. Okay. Now what about, you will ask, sir, what about sine of 180 minus theta? So 2 into 90 minus theta, correct. So which quadrant it is? 2 is there, so sine only. So which quadrant it is like? Second quadrant. In second quadrant, is sine positive? Yes, sine is positive. So sine theta, correct. Pretty clear? Okay. So this way we can solve each and every kind of questions. Okay. And it becomes very easy, and there is nothing doubt or nothing very difficult in this. Okay. So if you have any doubt, do tell us. Okay. Now students, let's see one last question to find general and what you say the principal solution of a trigonometric function. So we have, let's say, sin x is equal to minus root 3 by 2. So what are we going to do? Sin x is equal to minus of sin pi by 3. Correct. Now in which quadrant we can say sin is negative? Third and fourth. So we can take any value. Third, how will we reach third quadrant? Sine of 90 into 2 means second, this part, and then plus theta, okay, plus pi by 3. So it comes to the what? Third quadrant, and third quadrant it is negative. So that is equal to sine of 2 pi plus pi by 3. So how much you will get? Sorry, 2 pi telling. Pi plus pi by 3, so we'll get 4 pi by 3. Correct. So 4 pi by 3, we got it. It is in the fourth quadrant. So we know that is this. What is it? Sorry, it is in the third quadrant. So we know sign is negative in this. Okay. But it is a principal solution. Why it is a principal solution? Because it is lying between 0 to 2 pi. Now what you can do, directly we can use the formula x is equal to n pi plus minus 1 whole power n into 4 pi by 3. So if I'm putting n equal to 1, we'll be getting the answer. If I'm putting n equal to 2, we'll be getting the other answers, the general solutions, okay? Clear? So this way we solve this kind of question, okay? So don't need to worry. You can put up questions also and we'll try to sort it out, okay? If any doubt you have, Trigo is almost done, students. So with the questions, we'll be solving it much in depth and we'll tell you what is it wherever you are having any doubt, okay? So as of now, that's it for the trigo part. These are all the formulas and all the things that you need for solving trigo. If any formula plus and minus is there, do check it along with the book also. I haven't checked, so since we are bringing it very fast, a bit here and there can be, what do you say, difficulty. We're not able to have that kind of check after the editing. So do work in that. If you encounter any problem or any small typing mistake or any small something is written wrong, do put on the timestamp, do put it on the comment section so that we can know and we can improvise on that. Thank you, students.